Hi, welcome to the cottage. We are in Gaylord, Michigan at our northern nest, and it is May, and I can't wait to get started on gardening. It's a little chilly here, I tell you, Michigan. If you don't like the weather, definitely wait a day. Yesterday it was 80 some degrees, and today it's 50. It's cold, it's wet, but I've got some treasures and I'm going to start planting, and especially lilacs. I have wanted to have lilacs up here for years and I just seem to be missing them. So I think come Memorial Day weekend, they're sold out. So this year we're here the weekend before, and I got 7 of them. Let me show you what I got. All right, here's all my treasures that I've got to plant this time. I'll show you what I got. Here are pink lilacs. This is a Beauty of Moscow lilac. I've never even heard of this before, but it sounds beautiful. It's going to be a big one, 12 to 10 feet high and wide, and a nice pink. So I can't wait to see that. Next, these are the purple Miss Kim's. So they're a more miniature, and I got a wonderful price on them, like 20 bucks each. So I thought that was great. So I got 3 of those. Then I got some daffodils. They were like $3. It says $6.88 there, but they were $3. I really like planting the bulbs in the spring instead of the fall like this, because then I can see where they are. And when I continue planting, the greenery stays up and I can see where it is. There's some grape hyacinths, and I have planted grape hyacinths here. I got these for $1 each, and they're doing way better than I thought. I think I don't get here early enough to see this stuff sometimes, and this time they're like fuller than I thought they were doing. So I thought, well, I'll just add some more. And then here we got a couple of white lilacs. Look at that, Madame Lemon. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but I'm excited about that. So I got some the bare roots at Walmart for like $3. So we're going to try some of those. A couple of peonies. Look at that coral sunset. I think that's going to be beautiful. Look at the liatras. There's 16 in each of those. So I think adding that to my butterfly garden will be wonderful. Some astilbe, nice. It says chocolate kiss, so but they're a pink. We'll see what happens. Poppies, I've always wanted poppies. I hope they take. And then a couple lilies, 3 lily bulbs in there. And then I got some azaleas. I love the color, although when I set it in the yard they looked a little bit like fall foliage, so I think the accent that I put with them is going to make a difference, and I'm hoping that these coral sunset peonies will help with that, and then all the purple, of course. So that's what I have here. I'm going to get doing some planting and some gardening, and then I'll show you where I put this stuff. I can't wait. It's kind of a mess. It's always a mess when we get here, and then it looks gorgeous when we leave. That's the way it goes. There's Brad raking, already starting. I've been playing with the placement of these things for a while now. I'll show you what I landed on. So I am at the driveway with the shop here. There's the 2 garages here. So when you come, this is what you see. And really like to develop this little side yard as something really beautiful to walk through. So I put the pink Moscows, one on either side there, because I would love to put like an arbor in the middle with some roses and walk through here. And then those 3 there are the Miss Kim lilacs. So I think that'll be really pretty to have the 2 pink ones, and then the 3 purple. Love that. So that's what I'm going with. So we come around here. I have put a few things in here. The peonies, you can see the peach peony there. I put the daffodils are behind Stella d'Oro lily, because I thought the Stella d'Oro lily will come up and kind of obscure the leaves. They got kind of similar, and then if it's behind, I can let it die down and then clean it up. But yeah, coral sunset, and I got a couple of these these lilies here, I'm not sure where I'll put, maybe on either side of this rose here. And again, the daffodils and the other peonies here. So this coral sunset, I'm hoping will, can you see the azaleas over there? I'm going to put those over there. So I'm hoping that the complement of the coral over here, and then of course the purple with the lilacs will be nice. So looking back this way, there'll be the 2 pink Moscows at the end and the 3 smaller purple Miss Kim's. I do have a Miss Kim around the corner there. There's also one, so I think that'll be complementary also to follow through and have some balance. And then out on the other side of the Miss Kim's, I'd like to have a nice, we're not cutting over there along the boulevard, and I've planted some flowers in there, some butterfly weed. So these Lilacs, which there's 16 in a pack, I got 2 packages of those. I'm going to plant those along here too. The couple of poppies, and then these blue sea hollies. I don't think I've mentioned these. That's $3 for 2 of them, so I think they'll be cool out here too. So we'll just let it grow kind of wild here, and I do have some little artificial butterflies I'll stick in here. It helps people know when they're cutting the grass not to cut the grass, because that's the problem. I try to get things wild and it doesn't happen. These narcissus here, I think are the cutest things. Look at one stem, there's like multiple flowers on it. I just think those are lovely. You'd be able to just cut one and stick it in a vase. I could just have them everywhere. I just think they're so delicate and beautiful. So let's see, what else did we do here? What else did I do, babe? Oh, we put the white lilacs in the front yard. I'm gonna go there. Okay, up here in the front, this is where the white ones are. There's another one of my little lilacs here, and look at it. Yeah, I'll be waiting a long time for that. But the 2 white ones I put here, I think these maples, they're like clump maples. Look at, there's like 4 and even 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. The one's got 6 trunks. I don't think they're gonna be around forever. So these ones are the white ones, and they get really big. So I think it'll give us a little privacy between the houses. Lelu, stay here. Look at the moss is starting to come green with the rain the last couple of days, and it looks lovely. So stay here, baby. Okay, and I got one more thing, some stilbees. Oh, where did I put the stilbees? They're around the corner. Right, this little shade garden needs some help. There's 2 bobo hydrangeas in here. There's one. It seems to be doing better than this one, so I'd like to pull this out and put it in an area that gets a little more sun. And then our chocolate kisses stilbees I'm going to put there. And I have another one of these lemon love heucheras that I think we'll put here. I'd like to keep them together. It's up over here, so with the help of my husband, shovel, we're going to get going at it. Yeah. You ready?
Speed round. Let's plant this stuff. Go out.
Got our moss hill here cleaned up. So I have discovered if I give a really tight weed whacking, that the moss just shines. It's quite durable. It's more durable than you would think. And I'd like to do the whole yard. You can see
everywhere where there's grass, it's like she weed whacks and bam, there's moss there. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's got to weed whack really low. Over here you can see where I've done it, and then where it, see the grass is thicker over there. It's actually weeds, it's not really grass.
Yeah.
But this is all the moss coming through. And then right here
on this edge, it's just,
yeah, you can see where I didn't
weed whacking, it'll show more moss.
Yeah, so it's all just a flat moss, and then this is all a weed. But it's coming. I'll show you in the, I think the front yard. We'll call that the front yard over here. We got everything planted, the grass cut, and some weeding. There's lots more projects I would love to do, but we just don't have the time for that.
Yeah, got to get home, It's Tuesday after our long weekend, Victoria Day, the 20th, and next weekend's Memorial Day for the American side.
Okay, so we'll turn the phone around and see what we did. Okay, everything's greening up really nice. Got this garden weeded a little bit. Everything's just starting to come up. It's still early, so.
And some Chicken River there is.
Yeah, look at that. It's actually starting to look like a river. Hey, we got the top there and the river's starting to come.
Yep.
Artemisia coming up and lilies and butterfly bush. Everything will fill in really nice, I think. I'm excited to see this garden. Last year we did a video and I had some technical difficulties and wasn't able to process that, and
Didn't do your May one.
I'm bummed now because it would be nice to compare. Like, that's the whole reason for doing these videos. But all right, we moved these hookeras here. We split them. So I wanted to do like a row along here because I'm really loving this color on these peach berry ice. That one we didn't touch. Look, you see the new growth coming from the inside. We grabbed there's a bobo right here. Doesn't look like much right now, but I think it's going to be spectacular there. It gets a little bit more sun. My concerns are the water up here because we don't have any irrigation. But we had two of them back at that garden over there, and we pulled one that wasn't doing as good. There was that lemon love hookera here, and we moved it back there. So just shuffling things around a little bit just to...
Got some new plants and got a bunch of stuff planted too.
Yeah, this dazzleberry sedum coming up. I know. I just love the color of this thing coming up. I just think that's so cool. I'm very excited to see what that does this year. We just planted it last year. We had a lot of new plants last year. All right, let's check out the lilacs. Here's the moss that I weed whacked. Isn't it beautiful? It's like a green carpet. From here you can't tell the part that I didn't do. Once we walk up you can. So we do have a little wild area here, and we look forward to every year the lady slippers coming up, and we haven't seen, they're there but they're not blooming yet. I think that's one right there, right? Yeah, I think that's one there. But Brad found one over here in the moss. That's blooming.
The flower out on it. It's pretty cool.
So there it is right there. That's the North American orchid right there. Lady slipper. I love seeing these each year. All right, we planted 2 white lilacs here, which I'm looking forward to being able to see from the deck, and hopefully they'll have a nice scent to them. That'll be very, very nice. See our moss coming alive. I left the hose running last night, so it should be nice, get nice and green out here. Oopsie.
Whoops.
All right, so that is the May tour here. We got to get home. We got a garden at home. We got to get working on. Brad's bought a skid steer.
Skid steer, track steer.
Yeah.
It's should be fun. We'll be able to get all our rocks moved and.
It's hard to switch gears. I'm having a hard time leaving. I want to just keep going, go and get mulch and some trees and.
Yeah, there's all the wood there. That's 2 layers deep. All the wood that they had to cut up, the branches and stuff, and we have burnt so much brush here. It's insane.
Yeah.
Just to try and clean up the yard.
Yeah. Okay. Well, till next month.